I'll tell you later.
Okay. Thank you. Please try to crowd in. We have a big crowd today because we're doing a resolution on ranked choice voting that everyone's excited about. So if you can, it's really great. You're going to love it. Thank you. We stood at ease. We'll now call the meeting back to order that we started last night. However, if there's no objection, we would like to have an invocation and say the pledges before reconvening. Is Jerry Story here? Jeremy Story, sorry. My brain isn't working yet. Chris, can I ask, Jim, can I ask you impromptu to lead us in prayer? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Father, thank you so much for bringing us all here safely together. We pray, Lord, that all the work we do today be to your glory, not ours. We set personalities aside and look to principles, Lord, as your Bible tells us. Thank you so much for all the people here. Bless their families. Bless our time here together. And most of all, Lord, thank you for giving us your Son, Jesus, who died on the cross to save us from our sins. It's in his holy and precious name we pray. Amen. Amen.
And I will call on Gwen Withrow to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag.
I am so honored to do so.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And could I ask Don McDonald to lead us in the Texas pledge?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
I'm going to call upon Secretary Virgil Cruz for the roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, members. As always, if anybody leaves early or has a proxy that goes active or inactive, just check in with me, please. All right, Chairman Matt Rinaldi. Here. Dr. Dana Myers, Vice Chair. Here. Virgil Cruz is here. Treasurer Fred Tate.
Here.
General Counsel Rachel Hooper.
Here.
Parliamentarian Stephen Bolin.
Here.
Sergeant-at-Arms Mike McCloskey.
Here.
Chaplain Jeremy Story. Finance Chair Senator Mays Middleton. National Committeeman Dr. Robin Armstrong. National Committeewoman Tony Ann DeShiel. From SD1, Kristen Bentley.
Here.
Donnie Weisenbaker.
Here.
Jerry Fisher.
Here.
Bruce Bishop.
Here.
Janice Holt.
Here.
David Covey.
Here by proxy.
Gwen Withrow.
I am here.
Dale Inman, represented by Eric Smith.
Here.
Susan Lucas.
Here.
Bill Fairbrother, represented by Dwayne Wright.
Here.
Don McDonald.
Here.
Scott Bowen.
Howdy.
Deborah Fight.
Here.
Tom Novus.
Here.
Maggie Witt. Jim Pickle.
Here.
Ann Gephardt.
Here.
Dan Tully.
Here.
Susan Wright.
Here.
Matt Tiskus.
God bless Texas.
Galen Devine.
Here.
Ken Moore.
Here.
Jill Glover.
Here.
David Wiley.
Here.
Dr. Melinda Morris.
Here.
Dale Gibble.
Here.
Jan Duncan.
Here.
Fernando Trevino Jr., represented by Eddie Hauser.
Not here yet, Salty.
SC14 always has to be complicated. Let me know when he gets here.
Always good to be called.
Yeah, they take up like 4 lines in the minutes. Someone's here and then they're gone and then they're back again and then they're gone. Gail Stanart. Rolando Garcia.
Here.
Susan Fountain, represented by Matt Patrick. Another district like that. Have Matt come and check in when he gets here, please. Matt Patrick, obviously not here. Becky Green.
Here.
Roman Klein.
Here.
Cheryl Thompson Draper.
Here.
Howard Barker.
Here.
Kelly Perry. Fernando Garcia.
Here.
Grace Jones. Chuck Burnett. Tony Trevino. Mike Monreal.
Here.
Debbie Duke. John Carr.
Here.
Elaine Cook. Ed Zenner.
Here.
Mary Jane Avery. Andy Eller.
Here.
Naomi Narvaez. Chris Bird.
Present.
Karen Marshall. Kiko Canseco. Morgan Graham. Carmen Calderon.
Here.
Linda Hogue. Steve Evans.
Present.
Robin Cooper. Adolfo Theas. Rachel Horton. Britton Brooks.
Here.
Tisha Crow. Thomas Warren. And Mr. Chair, you have a quorum. And Galen, let's posse.
Call upon Galen Devine to report the findings of the proxy committee.
Oh, and when Eddie Hauser gets here, it becomes 5.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. The proxy committee has reviewed all the proxies and they are in order. Currently, we have 3. When Matt Patrick returns, we will have 4. And when Eddie Hauser returns, we'll have 5. There you go.
Quorum being determined, I call the meeting to order. We'll now hear from our RNC National Committee woman, Tony Ann DeShiel, with her report.
Good morning, everyone. Gosh, it's amazing I'm back, and it feels good to be here. I want to say thank you to all of you for your understanding of what my life went through for the last couple years, and my priority was my husband, and it was a great experience to be with him, and I felt all the prayers that came from all of you. Now, one of the things that happened during that time is I wasn't able to go out and to be around and to come here. So my communication wasn't as great as I think that it should have been. And so what I want to pledge to you is that it's going to be better. You will be hearing from me. We are having, by the way, my Zooms are going to be every Friday now, so there's another way you can hear. But I will be out and I'll be coming here. And one thing I want to do is I want to work with you in the respect that we have one thing in common. All of us. I know we have one thing in common. And what is that? Is to defeat Joe Biden. We've got to get rid of him. And we've got to get rid of the Democrats. We have to take back control. So here are some of the things that the RNC is already working on. And I want to make sure that you know and hear what these are. So we are going to start out with the debate. There's a presidential debate committee. What they did is they met for the last few years, and they made a decision. The networks aren't going to control our debates. We are going to be the ones to control the debate. And so we gave them the guidelines, and if you know Dave Bossie, who's the national committee man from Maryland, he said, this is what the guidelines are. If you like it, great, we will come to your network. If you don't, we won't. And what did they say? They said, okay, we'll work with you. And he almost fell out of the chair. Yeah, I mean, he was like, wow, this is so cool. So we are working with them. Another part of that debate is that they are going to every candidate, and we've got a number of them, and more are coming out, and they have to sign the pledge. If you want to be on the debate stage, you sign the pledge that you will support whatever candidate is elected, and we will work together to win in 2024. So that is going on. Another new thing that is happening is that we have the Youth Advisory Committee. We know that the youth, we've got to continue to engage. I see Howard is passing around his, for the young, the teenage Republicans, if you want to see him, the yellow card. But we have a youth committee advisory committee that is starting. It's the first meeting is March 15th. I will be going to DC to be a part of that, just to sit back to listen. So we are learning, what can we do? One of the things that we are also going to do in conjunction with the youth is we're going to open community centers. We had 38 community centers last year, the last election cycle. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Karen Marshall, who went to the community center in San Antonio, and I would get these pictures, not about these older women, these people coming together about learning about Republicans. No, these were young kids that was in a Hispanic area that she would bring in, and they would end up making cards for their mothers, or they would make gifts or decoration for Easter. I mean, you did an awesome job, Karen. I love seeing those pictures, and they were excited. So thank you, Karen, for that. These community centers are so crucial. They are going to start being opening here very shortly across the nation, and we're going to try to get them close to schools, universities, colleges, so that there's another way to engage with the youth. Another committee that is going to be going, continue, is the Grassroots Advisory Committee. This committee is going to be reaching out further than what we had done before. Last time we had a county chair fly in DC, 90 county chairs across the nation came in, learned about the resources that the RNC has to be able to support them. They couldn't go directly to RNC. They had to go through the channels and go into their leadership of their state. But we are now going to have another one of those. I'm getting to work with the different departments. One of the other departments is the State Strategy Party Department, another new department that is out there working. We are working closely together. We are also looking at possibly doing Zooms. Where did they get that idea? They are going to possibly doing that, and we'll do that regional. And that's going to go all the way down to the precinct level. So we're working from the precinct level up to work with the grassroots. And we have other events that are going on with them. We're going to help them with the GROW program. That's where they went out, the State Strategy Department. They would go have a committee go into every single state, work alongside of the leadership that ended up putting a plan together. They didn't do just one plan. It was customized for every plan. One quick story is in Delaware. They used to lose by double, triple digits in all their races. Well, because of this help and because of some of the incentive money they received, they put out a weekly newsletter. And now that they're still losing, but only by single digits. And so they've become a long way. And next time we're going to start winning. In Guam, the committee went out to Guam. First time ever, Guam ends up with a Republican congressperson. First time ever. So that was pretty exciting. So these things are all happening. The faith-based, they're going to have faith-based advisory committee. And that is going to be more active. The leaders of all these committees are going to come together. We're going to share ideas, and we're going to expand out like we've never done before. So we need to get this information out. I'm here to work with you. I pledge to you again, I will communicate better than I've done before, but I want to thank you again for all your support and your prayers for me, because that's the way we get through very difficult times. And we are going to get through these difficult times to beat Biden, but we're going to win, and I know we have that spirit inside of us. Thank you so much.
We'll now hear from our Vice Chair, Dr. Dana Myers.
Morning, everybody. How many of you made the trek to Houston last night and back? Yeah, that's the road to Amarillo and back, trust me. Live that. So, apologize, it's going to be brief. You know that I don't like to talk a whole lot, at least on these kind of issues. So, this thing sitting in front of you, this is color, but yours is black and white, the ERIC packet. This is your 10-page, everything you need to know to talk to your legislators, your grassroots, your county chairs, your donors, anything you need. If you need more information than this, contact Debbie and I in the Election Integrity Committee. This is what we've been working on. I actually just put it in the hands of the Heritage Foundation president just the other day. So we're going to take this to the national groups as well. That's the first thing. So obviously, ERIC has been a top priority of mine in the groups for the past few months. It's now come to fruition. Senate Bill 1070 that Senator Hughes is carrying is the bill that the task force, including Committeewoman DeShiel, Ellen Vera out of Harris County, Dion Starnes, Debbie, and myself, and Kit Whitehill was also on that committee, prepared, and it has been put together. J.C. Jatan, House Bill 2809 is the companion bill. We have great aspirations for this, and this is essentially to get us out of ERIC. Secondly, the ranked choice voting. You will hear resolutions both on getting us out of ERIC and ranked choice voting, no matter what Matt wants to joke about. It's a serious issue. We'll have our throwdown after. But the ranked choice voting is extremely important as well, because that is the backdoor next attempt by the leftist groups to bring basically jungle primaries and more confusion to our voting process to Texas, and we're going to nip that in the bud now. I also want to state that Texas will lead with this. The ERIC resolution is going to be one of the first in the country in the national group that we're working with, which is all those election integrity groups across the United States on our side are already looking forward to using our resolution to hopefully pass that in other states. So we will lead the way. Also, quickly, we are starting a statewide, and you've heard me talk about these regional groups and the regional meetings and such. We have divided the state up, and I'm sorry I don't have that with me because that traversing the state yesterday to get to the dinner took a little bit of my time. But we have someone helping us building a database across the state, divided by the regions, so that we can have election integrity groups identified and connected in every region of the state. And my goal is to have a county-by-county election integrity team ready, and that also includes the election workers, the poll watchers, all those people that have already been identified and been working, so that every county will have a built-in resource that they can go to, so we're not going to be scrambling at the last minute. Texas is going to be prepared, and we're going to be well prepared in advance of these elections. Also, I'm so glad to hear all this talk about the high school groups, because I can tell you I've already been working with the groups that were defunct during COVID, because as you can imagine, you're a high school student and you cannot get people to open up anything for you to meet. Well, I was contacted by a young man out of the Rio Grande Valley that I met over the past couple of years, and he is now sort of coordinating that effort and revitalizing those programs. So we are in the midst of already submitting those paperworks. I was glad to hear Howard had already shared his idea with Turning Point USA. So we're going to merge those groups as best we can, help create the curriculum, and get our young people involved. And I'm so excited to hear about the RNC's plans for these youth outreach programs. We'll have to talk about that later. Let's see. So I think most of that is what is going on from my side. If you need a copy of this, we'll be happy to provide you a digital copy of Senator Hughes' bill, and we'll get you Tom's available to you as well. And if you have problems with discussing this, or something comes up in your area that you're not familiar with regarding either ERIC or ranked choice voting, please reach out to us. It's going to be very important that we try to have the Republicans all on the side of understanding why this is a bad idea. I know that actually one of our Republican groups early on was submitting a bill about ranked choice voting in the military, and we actually thankfully got to that early and nipped that in the bud. So thank you very much for all you're doing, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And by the way, yeah, ranked choice voting is very important. And we just passed a resolution on the RNC. We'll next continue with the standing committee reports where we left over last evening. Before we do that, I do want to thank Senator Mays Middleton for sponsoring the meeting. We really appreciate him serving as our finance chair, and of course all the support he's given us. I'll call upon Jerry Fisher to present the Partnership and Coalitions Committee report.
Hello, hello. Can you see me now?
And she is standing up.
Okay, sorry, I forgot my stool. Thank you. Okay, real quick, I would like to thank my committee. As I call your name, please stand. Karen Marshall, Rachel Horton, Maggie Witt, Fernando Trevino, Gaylyn Devine, Elaine Cook, and Jill Glover. This is our Partnership and Coalitions Committee. Thank you guys so much. And what we've accomplished, which is a biggie already, we've accepted renewals from 7 groups and updated the website. Not yet, we're getting there. But we have all the information filed for these 7 groups that are partnerships with us. The Once Again Society, Texas Asian Republican Assembly, Texas Federation of Republican Women, Pachyderm, Texas Young Republican Federation, Texas Republican County Chair Association, and the Texas Republican Assembly. Thank you guys for renewing your partnerships with us. And I'd like to ask Michael Slovak, the political director for the Young Republicans, to come up here and say just a few words. Michael, thank you. This is our future, guys.
There we go. I think I'm good. All right. Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, fellow Republicans. It is an honor to be here this morning to speak to the SREC about the outstanding accomplishments of the Texas Young Republicans. In the last year and a half, we've been hard at work volunteering for, working on, and even running for federal, state, and local offices across Texas. And thanks to the wonderful, selfless leaders in the Texas YRs, we've accounted for over 7 million voter contacts in 2022. We deployed 11 times regionally and statewide, and even hosted a national YR deployment in Houston. YR candidates won congressional seats, state house and senate, school board, city council seats across Texas, from Midland, Houston, and Longview to McAllen, including the likes of Representative Caroline Harris, Congressman Wesley Hunt, Representative Ellen Troxclair, and Representative Nate Schlatzline. Hard one to get out, but he's one of ours, and dozens of others. And I want to thank the party and their amazing staff over the last year and a half, working together with the YRs, working with our local clubs to ensure that we had the resources that we needed to make that many voter contacts and really reaching out to our communities. So I want to thank Matt and, again, the amazing staff. I'm sure most of them have moved on to bigger and better things by now, but it's been amazing to see the cooperation that we've had together over the last year. Now, as Texans, we are known for our strong sense of community and our willingness to support one another. We believe in the importance of working together and standing united in our commitment to conservative values and principles and supporting fellow Texans. We YRs constantly hear the refrain that we are the future of the party. Now, we are today's party. We're in the trenches on campaigns, building relationships with our communities, and working on policy around the year. YRs hold elected office up and down the ballot across the state. I know on a personal note, the Texas YRs are some of the most genuine, hardworking individuals that I've ever had the honor of meeting. That includes Lauren Langus, our national committee woman, Derek Wilson, our vice chair, Hayden Paget, our chair emeritus and national co-chair, alumni like Karen Marshall in this audience now, and many others. And without them and our local club leaders, our members, past and present, our organization wouldn't have seen the success it's seen over the last few years. Now, sure, we don't always 100% agree on what the best way forward for our party is. And we have differences within the YRs about the best way forward for our organization. You see, at the beginning of his presidency, Ronald Reagan said, "I've always believed that a lot of problems in the world would disappear if we would start talking with each other instead of about each other." And that's how we bridge some of these divides that we have. We talk to one another, find common ground with the aim to focus our efforts on the task at hand. And that's defeating the woke liberal ideology that has seeped its way into every corner of American life. So you can cheer at that, that's fine. So Texas YRs have been listening to the concerns of Texans across the state and engaging in meaningful conversations. This often means talking to lifelong Democrats, especially those in places that we aim to flip red. You see, these individuals are many times from families that have been generations long straight ticket party Democrat voters. Most of the time they don't remember why anymore. They just do it. We've learned that when we talk to one another, that we can accomplish some great things. That hearts and minds can be changed, and entire communities will wake up from their decades-long slumber. People start to see how generations of liberal control has led to failed schools, crumbling infrastructure, broken homes, and a national border crisis that has led to hundreds of thousands of young people dying from fentanyl and other dangerous and disastrous drugs. Those childless parents, those single mothers and fathers, the underserved communities in our state, often in blue cities, those forgotten border towns, you see, their voices matter just as much as anyone else's. And we must ensure that our message of freedom and liberty and limited government is heard by all. And I think we did a pretty good job of that this year. Going to the border, YRs went to the border 5 times, often to the consternation of some who thought it was long trips and hot in the desert. But my hope is to see that a couple of those red districts that we fought so hard to get last time moves up the Rio Grande Valley, places like El Paso. And I think as we work together in the next year or two, we'll see that happen. The partnerships our clubs and federation have forged with TFRW clubs and our Republican county chairs through the last couple of cycles, I think are a testament to the how cooperation is critical to political success, and whether it be elections or on policy. And a quick shout out to our policy director, Peyton LeBeau, who's been doing yeoman's work, wrangling the cats, as you will, with the YRs, getting them on calls every Wednesday night to talk about the various bills in the State House and Senate that we're looking to support. Obviously, those change over time, and our members are burning up the phones, asking questions, and getting information for our members. And we're really excited to see what happens with our policy day later this month. And on a personal note, it's really amazing to see. So the party and the YRs, I think, have come together, especially in the last couple of years, regarding policy stuff. My wife and I brought into this world our first child just a few weeks ago, January 2nd. You see, he came 3 months early, and he's actually still in the hospital today. His name is Gabriel, and let me tell you, he's a Texan. He's a fighter. And they say that fatherhood changes you, and I think in this case it did. It made me realize that to be pro-life is also to be pro-child. And to see the work that we're doing together in the State House and the Senate, see that we're protecting children, and we're giving them the choice for education, a better education. Again, that's amazing to see, and I hope that we can continue working forward to those goals. So again, YRs are committed to the idea of working together and supporting one another, regardless of our differences. So I'm just asking here that we stand together on our commitment to advancing conservative values and principles, and let's put aside any differences and work together to build a brighter and better future for Texas and for our party. So with that, God bless Texas, and God bless the United States of America.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Janice Holtz, SD3. Could I ask a question of Jerry?
Jerry.
Yes, I heard just people talking that there was a discussion with TFRW.
Can you come
and
up
a
to the front,
request-
Jerry?
And a request that was made of TFRW. Can you elaborate on that? Are you able to elaborate on that for me?
You don't have to.
Okay, it was brought up in our partnerships and coalitions, the incident that happened in Wise County with the TFRW group that refused membership for a couple of Republicans. And we just had some questions to ask. And so we allowed Kit Whitehill, the president. She did a great job answering the questions. And that was it.
Okay, thank you. I had just, heard rumors and things, and I just wanted to know what was the question and what was going on. That was, thank you. You answered my question. Thank you.
Do you have anything to add?
We did pass a motion, if you can share that.
Well, we did pass a motion asking that questions be answered, an investigation, or not investigation, 2 weeks to tell us the answers to our questions.
So you said that President Whitehill responded, but you didn't get the answer to your question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Point of order, did the body vote to affirm the reappointment of the 8 listed partnerships?
Did we,
No, I got it.
did they vote?
Is that a point of information you're asking?
Is it necessary in our rules that we do so?
Can't hear you,
Would it be a point of information?
Mike, get up.
David Wiley, Senate District 12. A point of order, I don't believe we have voted to accept the reappointment of the 8 nominated and approved by the committee. Is it, I guess, a point of information in our rules that the committee presents to us and we affirm these partnerships?
I know we do. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not renewed, it's just upgraded. It's accepted.
Mr. Wyatt, can you please take your seat? It is not required, you're not required to have another vote in a separate biennium. However, you can revoke a partnership or coalition by a supermajority vote.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Dwayne Wright, SD5. It was indicated that there was a 2-week period for an answer. What was the proposed action if that 2 weeks isn't achieved on the answer?
It's my understanding that there was no proposed action in the letter. However, there, I believe, was a letter sent to state and national, just seeking more information. Thank you. Thanks, Jerry. I call upon Scott Bowen to present the Resolutions Committee report. In the meantime, before Scott starts, can I please have the Sergeant at Arms pass out the clickers? Mike?
The only person who's not here by my count, the only clicker that's not should not be distributed should be Morgan Grams unless she arrives. Okay. But if she's 27.
We're going to stand at ease for a couple minutes while Mike passes out the clickers.
Yes.
Anyone with SB 27 is not here, so don't leave them. Are they labeled or? Yeah. Oh. I was listening to something.
Well,
Are you going to walk a line?
no. Yeah, it's like a PowerPoint. I don't have it. Let me upload that real quick.
Yeah, so. Okay. Yeah. I can make it. If it's a PowerPoint, yeah. I can do it.
Did it in both aspects.
Okay. I've got a lot of knowledge. But that's not the same. To the other one.
Okay.
I can see Bill O'Reilly, thank you.
I'm supposed to show some.
Okay.
Why does that matter?
It's just your
Yeah, so, but
Yes. Okay, well, he said oh, well, then I guess maybe you need to second it because Kristen's going to call it out of because her resolution is the one subject to the so she was calling out. Maybe he sent it to you. No, I'm adding it to the resolution.
well,
You need me.
He said he just spoken.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he told me to do.
That's what he told me to do.
No.
Caitlin.
It's expensive. No. Right. What, sir? Okay.
I watched this one yesterday and
What did I say?
I don't know.
Surely it wasn't anything like.
this one is Morgan's.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to email you something.
I heard that.
Yeah. Make sure Mike's.
Everyone, please take your seats. Please take your seats.
Tried to make it look pretty today.
Is Representative D'Orazio here? He just stepped out. Okay. Can you guys, okay, the clickers were a little messed up so could you do me a favor? Can you grab it? Can you look on the back and make sure that it is your correct Senate district number and male or female? So that somebody else isn't voting for you?
D'Orazio's here.
Thank you. All right, everybody, come to order, please. I want to, if there's no objection, give Representative D'Orazio a chance to address the group for 5 minutes. Hearing none, Representative D'Orazio.
Thank you, Chairman Romaldi. You don't know how much memories come back to me as standing in front of the group of SREC members. I was on SREC for about 6 years, and being on SREC, this group, this body, is the voice of the grassroots, and so the work that you do is so important. Let's just take a quick step back in history. About 6 or 7 years ago, the decision was made to allow the Legislative Priority Committee to become a permanent committee. And because that committee became permanent, the SREC started working together to talk to their legislators about passing the priorities of the grassroots. You as a body, the SREC, are the voice of the grassroots. At the last convention, school choice passed by over 88%. This body put that on the statewide ballot. This body put that initiative on the statewide ballot, and then with those kind of figures, even in rural areas, it's even higher, the percentage of the people that want school choice. Parents are looking for a great education for their children. That is our future. The children is our future. And you guys have provided the map, the roadmap in order for us to get there. The governor is on school choice 100%. He is sticking his neck out there. So we need to support the governor in that issue. If you'll notice, he's going statewide like he's campaigning for governor, and he's campaigning for this issue. And we need to support him. The lieutenant governor is out on this issue. This is the #1 civil rights issue that we have. And our children are the future of this state and this country. As Texas goes, so goes the rest of the United States. And so this body, who are pushing this resolution, this bill, is going to make the difference in making it happen. In the last legislative session, this body stepped up to the plate, and they pushed for good conservative legislation. And your voices were made heard. You energized the grassroots. The legislators heard from you, and stuff got done. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for your support on school choice, because again, that is the future of our country, and that is the future of this body, because the people that are coming up under us, the children that we have to support, will be in your position one day. And as you go on to other positions in higher offices, you'll be able to bring those principles that have been the bulwark of this organization. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I want to thank each and every one of you for the work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now recognize Scott Bowen to give the report of the Resolutions Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of the members of the committee who have gone through long hours of meetings, of Zoom calls, of discussions to get to this report and it being finalized. I'd like to call out each one by name. My Vice Chair, Chris Bird, Kristen Bentley, Donnie Weisenbaker, Jerry Fisher, David Covey, Don McDonald, Dan Tully, Rolando Garcia, Naomi Narvaez, Britton Brooks, Andy Eller, and Gwen Withrow. Thank you for all of the time you put in. And for those of you who were kind of following what we were doing, we had a Zoom call a few weeks ago where we discussed a couple of controversial issues. And then we had our meeting yesterday where we looked at several more. And so I think we have a very strong report that we are going to put before you now. And actually, to start, we are going to change the order of the resolutions that we go through a little bit. So we'll start not with the Tony Gonzalez resolution. We'll move that one to the end of the report so that we can get through the other ones first. And the first resolution I would like to present is the Supporting Educational Freedom resolution. And so with that, I would like to move to adopt the resolution to support educational freedom.
No, I will move it up. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been moved. This does not require a second. Debate is now open. If you remember, we passed for all resolutions. We will have 5 for, 5 against. Of course, we don't have to have 5 if you don't need to debate. 2 minutes each. 3 minutes, 3 for, 3 against, and 2 minutes on amendments and debatable motions. Is there any discussion? No. No. Just kidding.
It's the first one. Down, 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 down.
It's the resolution 2.
We're making that hard for Virgil today.
I don't have the keyboard running.
He doesn't have it.
Blank pages. Supporting education freedom.
And you guys should have received a copy last night in email.
I just got rid of those pages.
Thank you. If there's any debate?
You want to see the therefore?
Are you ready for the question? Yes. Questions on the adoption of the resolution supporting educational freedom. Voting is now open. Please press 1A if you are in favor, press 2B if you are opposed, press 3C if you are abstaining.
Where's mine?
Joe Glover, Chuck Burnett, please share. My batteries.
Jill, over here. Point, you're looking at Chad if you're not showing up.
Virgil, please show the chair is voting aye.
We'll put fresh batteries in yours right now. We're gonna check that. We're gonna proxy vote for you. Just show me voting aye. Yeah. We got to screw in the back. Is everyone else good? Who else is missing? Yes. Morgan. Okay. So.
Only one we're missing is Morgan and my battery. Oh, you don't have a proxy? I'm sorry, you're not.
Are we done yet?
The vote is closed. Yeah.
63-0?
Yeah.
Voting is closed. The vote is 63-0 in favor of the resolution on educational freedom.
Thank you. And I think, as a lot of you know, it was a very long and winding road to get that resolution to the floor. So I think it's just a testament to all of our ability to work together and to collaborate that we were able to get a resolution passed that was 63-0 in favor. So so thank you all for all your hard work. And then also a quick announcement, because I was asked, if you are a proxy and you need access to the live doc that has the resolutions, please email Jen Hall and she can get you access to the document. So yeah, jhall@texasgop.org. So with that, on behalf of the resolution committee, I move adoption of a resolution opposed to ranked choice voting.
Should be the next one.
It is moved that the SREC adopt the resolution opposed to ranked choice voting. Are you ready for the question? Questions on the adoption of the resolution on ranked choice voting. Press 1A if you are in favor. Press 2B if you're opposed. Press 3C if you are abstaining.
In favor. And to support the resolution opposed.
And I vote as supporting the resolution opposing ranked choice voting. Yes.
SD 14. SD 14. Dan and Eddie. We got it.
Chairman, are you voting?
Yeah. The vote is 63-0 in favor of ranked choice voting. In favor of the resolution opposed to ranked choice voting. I get myself in trouble on this so much. That wasn't Freudian or anything, I swear. The ayes have it, the resolution passes. Thank you.
All right, and next for a resolution that we definitely wouldn't rank last. On behalf of the Resolutions Committee, I move adoption of a resolution on fossil fuels.
You have it up? It is moved that the SREC adopt a resolution regarding fossil fuels. Is there any debate? Hearing none. Are you ready for the question? The question's on the adoption of the resolution on fossil fuels. Voting's now open. Press 1A if you're in favor. Press 2B if you're opposed. Press 3C if you are abstaining. No. Hold on. Yeah, I'm an aye.
Can we verify your clicker? 61, one abstention. 62.
Okay. Voting's closed by a vote of 62 ayes, 0 nays, and 1 abstention. The resolution passes.
Green. And
On behalf of the Resolutions Committee, I ask that we approve the resolution asking school boards to disassociate from TASB.
It is moved that the SREC adopt a resolution asking school boards to disassociate from TASB. Is there any debate? Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to amend this resolution.
name and SD.
Oh, sorry, Jim Pickle, SD8. I move to amend the resolution to move the bill numbers and authors to a whereas clause as opposed to a resolve clause.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that the final be it further resolved clause is moved to a prefatory clause. Do you want to speak in favor of your amendment?
Yes, sir, thank you. It's more appropriate to have the names of specific people, bills, in the whereas clause because that's the reason why we're passing the resolution. We're not resolving about those people or those particular bills. And as you know, Chairman Rinaldi, from being in the House yourself, bill number 175 might look extremely different by the time it gets to the governor's desk through resolutions and conference committees and things like that. So I think it makes more sense to move it into the whereas clauses so it's not actually part of what we're resolving by name.
Does anyone else want to speak on the amendment? Seeing none, we'll vote on the amendment. It will be a voice vote. All in favor of the amendment to move the final resolve clause to a prefatory clause, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Aye. The ayes have it. The amendment passes. There's no further discussion on the motion. We will now vote on the resolution. Please indicate with your clickers the questions on the resolution as amended, asking school boards to disassociate from TASB. Press 1A if you're in favor. Press 2B if you're opposed. Press 3C if you are abstaining. Voting is closed. The vote is 62 ayes, 0 nays, and 1 abstention. The affirmative has it, and the resolution is adopted.
Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Resolutions Committee, I move that we adopt the resolution to terminate membership in the Electronic Registration Information Center, also known as ERIC.
It's moved that the SREC adopt a resolution to terminate membership in the Electronic Registration Information Center. Mr. Byrd?
Mr. Chairman, Chris Byrd, SD 25. I am here before you in this body just to introduce a few, I guess, 4 relatively minor, somewhat clarifying amendments. The reason for that is the bill's author, Ms. Debbie here, had a few questions after our session yesterday and asked if I'd sit down and go through the bill with her. And so collaborating on that together, we have those. Would like to just introduce those. I can run through those one at a time and then just simply ask that they be approved as a batch, if you will.
Is there acceptable to the author?
Let's just motion to do them all at one time since they're acceptable to the author, then we can vote on it. And if anybody has a problem with any particular one, we can amend the amendment.
That'd be fine. So the very first one is in the second whereas, and we have deleted who are not eligible to vote and citizens who have declined to register to vote, to replace that with ERIC receives personally identifiable information of citizens and minors regardless of voting status. The next one would be, I believe it's the third whereas from the bottom. There's a deletion of the reference of ERIC as a consortium. It is not a consortium, as has been stated previously in the resolution and abundantly made clear in the information put in front of you. Incidentally, Vice Chair Myers and Tony Ann, thank you for your hard work on putting all that together. So it's deleted and now just simply refers to ERIC as ERIC. The next amendment is a little bit of a clarification to simply add, therefore be it resolved that the Republican Party of Texas calls for the Texas legislators to pass legislation that would allow for the prompt removal of Texas from the ERIC program, and this is the ad, and implement an auditable service reconcilable to Texas counties. And then the last one is the very last resolve, which kind of addresses the matter that Mr. Pickle brought up in the last resolution, and it is to include the Republican Party of Texas supports, this is the ad, the stated intent and both legal and legislative efforts and so forth. So I make a motion, Your Honor. Sorry. Well, that's we're going to do that from now on. I wish I could make a motion to judges. That would be a good idea. So I'm caught in a conundrum. I'm either in court or in front of this body. I make a motion that we approve all of these as one batch amendment.
Is there a second? Second by... Oh, okay. Did you get that? I couldn't hear. Okay. There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the amendment, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution as proposed is amended. There's
further amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Jim Pickle, SD8, as I did in the last resolution, I move to amend the resolution to put the, I guess it's still now the last one, that has the specific bill numbers and the names of the legislators into a whereas instead of a resolved paragraph. Same reasons as before.
Second by Kristen Bentley. The amendment currently under consideration is to take the final prefatory clause and move it to the whereas clauses. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Brooks, no. Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor of the amendment, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. The ayes have it. The amendment passes. Next, if there's no further discussion, we will now vote on the resolution as amended. Questions on the resolution to terminate membership in the Electronic Registration Information Center. Please press 1A if you're in favor, press 2B if you're opposed, press 3C if you are abstaining.
I know. I can't do it until we're done for today. It's my fault. It's like me. We got 63. We're done.
Okay. By a vote of 62 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention, the resolution passes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we, on behalf of the Resolutions Committee, I move that we pass the resolution opposing casino gambling in Texas.
It's moved that the SREC adopt a resolution opposing casino gambling in Texas. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, Jim Pickle, SD8. I move to amend the first resolved clause to include after the words casino gambling and online sports betting.
Point of order.
Please state your point of order.
SB 12.
Microphone, please.
This is not germane. The amending it to include other things at this point would be not germane to any issue that's in front of the legislature. This is a very specific item, a specific resolution for a specific item, and to amend it to hang other items onto the Christmas tree, I believe would not be germane at this time.
Yeah, this is a resolution on casino gaming. The amendment to add sports betting is non-germane and needs to be brought in a separate resolution through committee.
Even though it's talked about in the whereas clauses over and over.
It is a specific resolution dealing with casino gaming, so it is therefore out of order.
Okay.
Okay. We need another resolution.
Is there any discussion on the resolution before the body? Hearing none, we'll now vote. The resolutions on the questions on the resolution opposed to casino gambling in Texas. Press 1A if you're in favor. Press 2B if you're opposed. Press 3C if you are abstaining. Fernando. Good. Okay. Voting's closed. The vote is 55 ayes, 5 nays, 3 abstentions. The resolution passes. And
All right, Mr. Chairman, I move that we pass the resolution calling on Republican City Council candidates to support ending taxpayer-funded lobbying.
it's been moved that we adopt the resolution on Republican, what is it? Can you see the title? The title's the other one.
That's the title. Republican City Council candidates.
The question's on the resolution calling on Republican City Council candidates to support ending taxpayer-funded lobbying. Debate's open. Jim, do you have an amendment?
I do. Amazingly.
Does it have to do with bill numbers?
It has to do with online sports betting. No, I'm just kidding. Your Honor. Yeah. Thank you. Jim Pickle, SD8. I move to amend the whereas clause. If you get them up there for me, I can see it. Get to the whereas clauses, please. I mean, the resolve clauses. Sorry.
Oh, the resolve.
Right. I move to amend the solo resolve clause to take out the words "who identify themselves as Republicans."
Have second by SD5, Dwayne Wright. Is there any discussion, Jim?
2 points. First point, city council and school board races are still nonpartisan as far as I know today. So nobody has to identify themselves as a Republican. So this wouldn't apply to them if they don't, as it's written now, or as it's originally written. Plus, I want to know all of the candidates' positions on this topic, not just those who happen to self-identify as a Republican. So if we make it more global, I think the intent was, well, we only control the Republican Party, so we can only tell Republicans what to do. I don't think that's right. I think we get to tell everybody what to do because we're Republicans.
Do you have discussion on the amendment?
I sort of have a friendly amendment to the amendment that if and so the amendment carries, then the title should be changed.
Good point. So are you making an amendment to the amendment?
Amendment to the amendment would be to scratch Republican from the title.
Calling on city council candidates. Okay. Is there any objection to the amendment calling on crossing out the word Republican in the title? Hearing none. Amendment passes. Amendment to the amendment passes. Next is the vote on Mr. Pickle's amendment as amended. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? No. The ayes have it. The amendment passes. If there's no discussion, we'll next vote on the resolution calling on Republican city council candidates now.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Could I make an amendment?
Yes.
I'd like to amend this. In Harris County, our elections are not until November. So, and this looks like it applies just to the May 6th elections. So can we remove May 6th and put 2023 elections? Because our city council and our school board elections are not until November.
Why don't a suggestion is your motion to scratch the words in the May 6th election from the result clause?
Yes, and replace with a 2023 election.
Do you need to put that?
Or just remove May 6th and May 6th?
Okay. That's a great.
Just removing the date
amendment.
altogether.
Yeah, crossing out the words in the May 6th election.
Mr. Chair, there's also a whereas.
From the result clause.
We should also do the whereas at the top, the first whereas clause.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Does the wording reflect your
Yes, sir, it
amendment?
does.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Let me see the result.
Where's the other one? Result, right there, after pick.
Just cross out in the May 6th.
Just, you just
May I ask the author of the amendment a question?
Hold on one
Would
second.
she accept a friendly amendment to her amendment and just
Hold on.
take out, sorry.
One second. And let me get do we have a second to the amendment?
Second.
Second by Janice. Mr. Pickle, do you have an amendment to the amendment?
Yes, sir. Jim Pickle, SD, asked the author for a friendly amendment. Not sure why this needs to be limited to 2023 unless we're going to change our minds next year about this topic. To the 2023 also?
Well, that part is just you mean in the prefatory clause?
Exactly. Everywhere where it says 2023.
That's what she said.
Is that what you want?
Yes, that's what she said.
Yeah, I'd accept the friendly amendments.
Okay. Is there any objection to crossing out references to the 2023 uniform election dates in the first prefatory clause? Hearing none.
Mr. Chairman.
What? Do you have an objection? Or?
Yeah, I have an objection. In as much as we are trying to get legislation to solve the issue now, we're hoping that it doesn't become an issue beyond 2023. So bringing emphasis to 2023, I think helps the legislature understand that we really want the legislation accomplished.
Okay. Any other discussion on the amendment to the amendment? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor of the amendment to the amendment, crossing out references to 2023 in the first prefatory clause, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Nay. The ayes have it. The amendment passes. Now, we are voting on the amendment to the amendment passes. Now we're voting on the amendment, which is to cross out references to the May 6th election in the resolved clause and the first prefatory clause. So all in favor of the amendment, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The amendment passes. We have discussion now open on the resolution.
Mr. Chairman, Thomas Warren, SD 31. I'd like to offer another amendment, if we could, on the first whereas.
Please state your amendment.
So now it says voters in cities across Texas will be electing the mayors, city council members, and city commissioners in the 2023 uniform election date.
Actually, it shouldn't have a reference in the 2023. We took that out.
Virgil's catching up.
We're catching up.
Okay. Well, does that mean we also need to remove the words on the? So my amendment would be to remove on the.
We'll do a cleanup, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
It's easier for me to do a cleanup.
Virgil will do a cleanup after. So we sound like we know what we're doing here. Now we have a vote on the resolution. All in favor of the resolution, please press your clicker. Please press 1 for aye, 2 for nay, and 3 for abstain. I'd like to commend Chad Shoemake for spelling the word yay correct this meeting.
That was a big one.
And not spelling it Y-A-Y.
I mean, it's open. We can change it to whatever.
A vote of 61, voting is now closed. A vote of 61 yays, 0 nays, 1 abstention. The resolution, two abstentions, the resolution passes.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I move that we pass the resolution endorsing legislation to end vaccine mandates in Texas.
There's not going to be a resolved clause.
Yes, there is. Watch.
Oh.
Your Honor.
It's been
Jim Pickle, SDA.
It's been moved to Sorry, hold on. The motion to adopt the resolution to endorse legislation to end vaccine mandates in Texas. Now to have discussion, Mr. Pickle.
Motion to amend the resolve clause to end at the word legislature, period. Make a new whereas clause saying, whereas the following bills are representative of the, I want to say voice, but that's not the right word, intent of the SREC, colon, and then list 1, 2, 3, as they are there. Same reasons. Pickle amendment.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second by Krista Bentley.
As the author, I concur with this, but I want to point out, had Mr. Pickle been in the original committee meeting, this amendment would not have been necessary. He's on this committee.
I will tell my wife next time she needs to go to the hospital.
Okay. Does anybody have any debate on the amendment that doesn't have to do with Jim Pickle's attendance? Hearing none. All in favor of the amendment, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The amendment passes. If there's no further discussion, we'll now vote on the resolution. Please vote with your clicker. Press 1 for aye, 2 for no, 3 to abstain.
Was there an error? Was there an error? No.
Gail Spanner?
No. Yeah. Okay. As long as it's not, as long as it's internally consistent. Okay.
Voting's closed by a vote of 62 to 0 to 0. The resolution passes.
And with that, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask that we go into executive session for our next resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Galen Devine and several people. So it's been moved to go into executive session. To be specific, we're going to go to executive session for discussion. Then we're going to bring everybody back in. You will get to witness the vote.
Chairman, request information. How long do you expect this executive session to last?
Well, I don't expect that there will be many amendments, but if it just is debate on the motion, it would be 5 speakers on each side, 2 minutes per speaker, so 20 minutes plus maybe 20 or 30 minutes.
Can we recess for 5 minutes and hit the bathroom before we lock ourselves in here? Yeah.
Everybody can use the bathroom except for Steve. No, we'll stand at ease for 5. Let's stand at ease for 10 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, and we're asking folks that are not members to wait in the lobby, not wait in the pre-function area. So if you move down there and wait, please. Thank you. No, leave your clickers at your seat. Anyone leaving the room should leave the clickers at your seat.